would also include reducing the preseason from 4 to 3 games. College basketball, 7 ranked teams in action, including NC State upsetting 6th ranked Duke 88-66. First time a ranked Duke team under head coach Mike Krzyzewski has lost by 20 or more to an unranked team. Georgia beat number 13 Auburn 65-55. 16th ranked Seton Hall gets an inbound buzzer beater to knock off number 21 Butler 74-72. Wins for number 11 Louisville, number 12 Villanova, and number 22 Houston. I'm Eddie Garcia.
We are Buffalo.
K105 Weather is brought to you by the 3 Grayson County locations of the Sicilian Bank.
Twin Lakes weather.
Well, another deep freeze moves in tonight. The weekend is trending on the nicer side of things. So hang in there, guys. This afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy sky. High temperature of about 40. Tonight in the teens, we go for your Friday. Blue sky, but chilly. Temperatures barely above 40. The weekend looks dry. Temperatures in the 50s. On the way through new storm tracking team, I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me. 'Cause I'm having a good time. Having a good time.
I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you.
Don't stop me now.
I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball.
Don't stop me now.
If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call.
Don't stop me
'Cause I'm having
now.
a good time.
Don't stop me
Yes, I'm
now.
having a good time. I wanna make a supersonic woman of you.
Don't stop me. Don't stop me. Don't stop me.
Hey, hey, hey!
Don't stop me. Don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I
Don't stop
like
me.
it.
Don't stop me.
Have a good time, good time.
Don't stop me. Don't stop me.
This is In the Know for Thursday, February 20, the 51st day of 2020. There are 315 days left in the year. Good morning, MV, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast. We're on Facebook Watch, on YouTube Live, on Periscope. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we will update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. A dust-up in Vegas last night. We'll tell you about that. Someone got released from the hospital yesterday. You won't believe who. And we will also get ready for moving closer to spring and some of the new products to be looking forward to. And we will have today's water cooler question. It's going to be your chance to win tickets to a great event this weekend. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
It seems like the world is working toward closer to having true gender equality. Would you agree?
Okay.
Things have changed a lot over the different generations and certainly the decades. There's one area where we are where we have equality among the gender, and that's road rage. Both the same percentage of men and women suffer from road rage. The same amount of men and women are bad drivers. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know that I agree.
You don't know that you agree. Probably nor do you care whether you're equal on that or not. She's the pride of Pumpkin Center, the heiress to the great mini burger fortune. She's Vera Wang's arch nemesis and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year. She's Misty Embry Thomas. Hey. How's Misty?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm outrageous. You don't have any road rage, do you?
I do have road rage, but I am a better driver. I think there's only one person in this room that does their own thing on the road.
No. Here we go again. We're gonna.
Did you die?
Here's something that may seem good, but it's also bad. If your child is lying, this means he or she is smarter than other kids.
Manipulative, maybe.
According to developmental psychologists, kids who deceive have higher verbal IQs and better executive functioning skills. While that might seem like it has a silver lining to it, the not so good part is they're probably lying to you too, and probably have you fooled. A study found that adults are able to identify when a kid is lying to them only 47% of the time.
I've always been amazed at some of the lies I've caught my children, and I'm like, how did you even know to think of that? You remember the toothbrush episode at church? When I looked at the boy, he was probably 8 or 9. I could smell his mouth from a mile away, and I said, did you brush your teeth? And he went, did you mean this morning?
You're right. I'm going to need you
He
to...
shook his head,
clarify.
yes, then it turned to no, and then it was, did you mean this morning?
I'm going to need you to be a little more detailed in your question.
How did you even think to
Broadly?
ask me that? It was a yes or no question.
There may have been some Pinocchioing going on the stage in Vegas last night. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Highs will only make it into the 30s today. Clouds continue to clear tonight. Temperatures plummet into the teens. Will be brisk in the morning, but sunny skies do return for your Friday. Sunny and 42 tomorrow after 20 overnight tonight. The Democrat... Misty, I never was in a position where I had to show up to a new school and be the only one.
Yeah, me neither.
You used to see that on the after school
Yeah, you
special,
didn't
the
either.
dangers of being the new kid in school.
Yeah, it scared me to death. I never wanted to do that, so I didn't want my kids to do that either.
Right. So I was blessed. I started the same elementary school, went to the same junior high school,
Yeah.
went to the same high school, but there were those kids who would transfer in the middle of the year, and you thought, ooh, they have it rough because everybody's, hey, have you seen the new girl? And like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mike Bloomberg knows how that feels today.
Well, I think they not only put him on the end of the stage, they put him on the edge of the stage.
They gave him an atomic wedgie. They shoved him in a locker, and they gave him some noogies. Everybody took shots
Yes.
at Mike Bloomberg last night as, well, welcome to your first day of the school that we've been going to for a while.
Right.
They've been through this debate circuit so far, and now Bloomberg finds his way onto the stage, and it was very... I watched 45 minutes of it, and then the arguing. Lester Holt said at the beginning, now that there are only 6 of you on the stage, I think it's 6, might be 7, I don't know. Now that there are this number of you, we encourage you to engage one another directly. Fight, 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 fight. Because that's what, there would be these
Yes.
little side squabbles. So Mayor Pete and Senator Klobuchar, then, they would ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, and then Biden and Bernie, they would ta-ta-ta-ta, and then Bernie and Bloomberg would ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. And so the headlines today are not friendly to Mike Bloomberg. Especially the New York papers show him wearing Band-Aids today on his face and like all this other stuff. So
I
it was
watched
a real...
about the last hour, 45 minutes to an hour of it.
My eyes batted when Elizabeth Warren said, we don't need a billionaire who calls people fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. I was like,
It's like,
What?
did he say that?
no, she said
No,
that.
I
Well,
mean, did
what-
he really
yes,
say that?
Sure.
But she said the truth comes out in his defense when he says, I was nice to some of the girls.
Nice to some of them.
What's
Yeah.
like,
And
what?
we have a limited number of NDAs. How many? How limited? Well, a limited number.
Right.
But how many? Limited.
Right.
And so he never would quite delve into. We have some, and I didn't do anything, but maybe people didn't like the joke I told. Okay. All right, if you say so.
I think what's interesting about the Democratic Party overall is this. They want to villainize you if you've been successful financially.
Yeah.
So I found it interesting that Mayor Pete wanted to say, I'm from Indiana where I only have one house. And then, Biden wanted to say, I'm poor and the only money I made was the book I wrote about my son and you all really liked it and bought it and
Yeah.
and I made money off that. And I'm like, So you're talking about wanting to help people in poverty, but then you're touting how you're poor and you're villainizing those who have money. But then Bloomberg's saying, I want to give my money away to help. And you're on Matt. Like, it's so bizarre to me. What really?
It is totally bizarro. But the line of the night came from Mayor Pete because he led with it. This is the jab that he threw to start the debate. He said, now we've got one guy who wants to sell out the Democratic Party, and now we've got a guy who wants to buy out the Democratic Party. And I was like, well framed.
Okay.
I doubt you came up with that on your own, but
Sure.
well done to your staff for coming up with that. You
Give
got
that guy a raise on
Bernie,
your staff.
Bernie trying to sell out, Bloomberg
Right.
trying to buy out. I'm like, those are good bookends
But
to
I
lead
thought
with.
the questions were good last night. The ones I heard, I thought they were
I
really good.
didn't like the journalist trying to trip up Amy Klobuchar on not knowing the Mexican president's name. I think
No,
she
I
should
didn't-
know
I
the
didn't
Mexican
either.
president's name. But I agree. I make mistakes. I
I have too many American leaders. I've got to keep up with their names. I can't.
I pull the
And
wrong
that's
names.
something
I
similar.
get the wrong. I
Sure.
say the memorial service was last Monday when it's this Monday.
Monday.
We'll talk about that later. There are things I go, oh yeah, I just completely pulled that.
Right.
And when you have that much information and the lights are shining and the cameras are on and the
Sure, the press.
now does she know enough about international policy, foreign policy to be a good leader? She may not. But just because you can't name one name when put on a spot, I didn't like that they revisited it. She said, yeah, but you couldn't name him. Like, you asked your question, you made a spectacle of her, and you
Right.
got your answer. Move on. Don't you have more than one question to ask? Because then she came back, but you couldn't name him. Well,
I can't tell you my grandmother's name on some days. Like, it's just, but really, leadership is about principles and standards that you carry within yourself. All of those names and other things will come to you through your staff. Like, you should have a certain amount of working knowledge, but the name itself isn't necessarily as important to me as what he does, what his politics are, how that nation is run,
sorry.
right?
I just got to thinking about Elizabeth Warren saying that Pete Buttigieg is on healthcare. He had a PowerPoint, but he doesn't have a plan. And on Klobuchar, her healthcare plan you could fit on a Post-it note. And she said, I take offense to that because Post-it notes were invented in my state. And I was like, what? Where are we?
What is happening? But I
Is this
did
a game show? Is this a game show we're on?
I did appreciate the journalist, though, who asked Mayor Pete about his essay that he wrote about Bernie. And he said, I was a Bernie fan before it was cool. Like, I was on the Bernie bandwagon before anybody else.
Yeah.
But I think he did a good job explaining himself out of that one.
Yeah,
It was interesting.
he's doing weight. He's punching above his weight right now. I don't think he's going to be the nominee. But
Kudos to his
Nor
staff.
do I think Bernie is either. But we'll see. I guess it's there are too many people. There are too many candidates. So we'll see who. There is one candidate who was Trump's such a shark. Right? He figured out where the Democrats going. Vegas. Okay, let's go to Phoenix. Like, let's be a stone's throw away. Like swimming around in the waters
Right.
with our dorsal fins up out of the waters. Like, so he had a rally in Phoenix. He was doing counter programming, which, by the way, in the entertainment business is how you do it. Somebody's got a successful TV show. You try to come up with one that's better and line it up right against them and draw eyeballs away from it.
That's what
And
he's been doing his whole life. It's why he's a billion trillionaire.
That's
whatever
right.
he
But I
is.
do like, I pride myself on being good about nicknames. Like I've got one in the chamber that I haven't thrown on you all yet. That's in in the coming days. But you know how I love to nickname people in the building.
And I'm the only one who's never gotten one.
That's because you're just such a albino unicorn. You just can't come up with a
Like
name for you.
enigma. Yeah, it's just like
But I can't hold a candle to President Trump and his nicknames. Mini Mike. He's already named Bloomberg Mini Mike.
But I told you that is how that's part of his campaign and it's oddly brilliant because
It
he
works.
destroys their character with one nickname. What was it, Boring Jed or
Sleepy.
Sleepy? What was
No,
it?
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe and
Low energy.
Low
Low
energy
energy.
Jed, low energy Jed, and you couldn't help it when you
Lion
would see
Hillary.
Jed, yes,
Right?
he
Just-
gave them all names, and that's all he has to do. One word, I'll destroy your character, and I'm moving on. And I'm like,
All right, let's see the photo. If you're watching, let's see the photo of Ryan Newman leaving the Halifax Medical Center yesterday.
How about this?
Roush Racing sent this out yesterday afternoon. Who would have ever
Wow.
imagined on Wednesday of this week, after the crash you saw on Sunday, that he would be walking out of the Halifax Medical Center, seemingly with no bandages, also no shoes.
I was going to say, he doesn't have his shoes
But
either.
hand in hand with his children,
Right.
and I was like, "Well, it's an awesome photo."
Yeah, it is.
I was glad they released it and did that. Good to hear that Ryan Newman is out of the hospital. In other headlines, the inmate who escaped from the Hart County Jail Tuesday afternoon has been captured. 30-year-old Darren Wren of Cave City was arrested by the Glasgow PD early yesterday. So that's good. You can stand down. You can dissolve your search party.
Put the dog back in the kennel. Canine put away.
Lawmakers in Frankfort are halfway through the General Assembly session and still have a lot to accomplish. There are only so far 2 bills that have been signed into law by Governor Beshear. House Bill 186 excludes direct sellers, such as those who sell products in the home or other non-store setting, from company coverage of workers' compensation and unemployment compensation. House Bill 236 allows the Kentucky Department of Agriculture to develop hemp testing procedures for TSC content. But there's some other legislation that is on the governor's desk that he either has until tomorrow to sign, veto, or let them become law without his signature. Senate Bill 8 is the school safety bill, so I'm unsure what he will do there. SB 94 would allow a maximum of 15% ethanol in gasoline, up from the current 10%. And then there's a Louisville Air Pollution Control District bill that's on his desk that they passed. But the heavy stuff that has been discussed in the legislature yet to cross the finish line. A House panel has proposed to limit gubernatorial pardon powers, which will be to the delight of some who were very puzzled over the way Governor Bevin pardoned a lot of pardon people last minute on his way out. Republican Senator Chris McDaniel said his proposal would impose a small limitation on a governor's pardon powers, but would bring greater accountability. He says if a governor believes strongly enough in a pardon, he or she can stand in front of the voters or have their party stand in front of the voters to decide their opinion on those actions. So it changes the time. There's a 30 days from the time you leave office limit, that once you get inside 30 days before the end of your term, no more pardons. So any pardons you want to put out there, you'll at least have to suffer the consequences for another month, I think is what they're attempting to do.
I say we just get rid of pardon power.
Governor Beshear spoke against discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity and supported a ban on conversion therapy yesterday. At a rally in Frankfort, he became Kentucky's first sitting governor to attend a rally staged by the Fairness Campaign in the Capitol Rotunda, which is just a few steps from the governor's office. So Kentucky's governor for the first time has attended a gay rights rally as of yesterday. In a state beset by high diabetes rates, the Kentucky House, we told you about the committee passing this, but the House has now passed legislation to limit out-of-pocket costs paid by many Kentuckians relying on life-saving insulin supplies. It cleared the House 92-0. It's kicked over to the Senate now, where I will presume it's going to have support. If it had unanimous support in the House, surely it's going to have enough to get accomplished. Marcy's Law is among 3 amendments to gain Senate panel approval. If this sounds familiar, it should. It was a constitutional amendment already in 2016 and then got struck down by the Kentucky Supreme Court because of being too vague. It's a victims' rights law, and Senator Whitney Westerfield is the sponsor of the legislation. He says that he hasn't changed any of it from when they ran it through the legislature the last time. To which I would question, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. What will the difference be here? If you're just calling the same play, there has to be some difference.
Yeah.
It'll have to appear differently on the ballot, like the voters will have to be more aware. It can't just be like, you have had 4 more years to study up on this, so here it is again. So I'm a little bit puzzled why they wouldn't change it slightly. It's got a little more shove back than it had before now. some more opponents. The other two constitutional amendments that look like are headed to the Senate floor would be one to restore voting rights to many felons upon completion of their sentence, but it would leave it up to lawmakers to decide whether there would be a waiting period or whether it would be automatic. So voters will get to decide. Remember, governors have done this by executive order, and now the legislature is saying, let's let voters decide if they want felon voter rights restored, and then it'll be up to the legislature to decide whether there's a ramp up to that or not. And then the other one will be, it was the pardon power, it was the Marsy's Law, and it's the felon voting rights law. Those are the three constitutional amendments that are headed to the Senate floor now. A record number of Kentuckians have registered to vote in the May primary election. 2 months remain until the deadline to register. Figures released by Secretary of State's office say a record number of Kentuckians are already eligible to participate in the May primary election. A total of 3.462 million Kentuckians. 3,462,000 were registered to vote as of January the 31st.
Well, for the first time in a long time, the 2nd congressional district is now a Republican district. We have more Republican voters.
Yeah, that's not surprising, especially in the 2nd. Still, Democrats. I thought it had changed, but I read the other day. I think Democrats still outnumber Republicans in Kentucky across the board. I would be remiss too if I didn't point out. I would remind everyone, for all the new voters, Misty Thomas does offer a free voter counseling service.
I do, absolutely, yes. It's life coaching on how to vote.
Reach out on all the various platforms, Twitter.
I have a pretty healthy following of those who reach out to me on primary and general election day on who to vote for.
Well,
so
I would, sure that people were
it's a
aware.
free service. It's a free service. You don't
That's
have to
right.
pay.
Just got to be a
for my
friend,
opinion.
right? Just
You don't have to be you don't have to be
not
my
even a friend?
No, just take my recommendation and pull the right lever.
The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has to pay more than $150,000 in legal fees for a man who won a lawsuit allowing him to put "I'm God" on his license plate. So insult to injury. He wanted the personalized plate. They said no. He sued under whatever charge they claimed. I can imagine 3 or 4 different things they could have claimed. The court system said you can have the license plate. Then this guy says, yeah, but I spent $150,000 with an attorney to get this. And so now a court has said, well, Transportation Cabinet, you got to pay the lawyer bill. So that translates into, congratulations, taxpayer. You just got to pay this guy's lawyer bill.
But if he's God, he could afford it.
That's kind of what I thought.
I mean, if you're God, then you don't need my tax money, right?
Omnipotent and omniscient.
You own 1,000 cattle on the hill is what I hear. So how come you need my tax money? Well, sir, we now are sending you to Tennessee, D.C. with your license plate.
This guy's name is on our money already.
You're on our coins. You're on our Tennessee, D.C. money.
Does he get to walk around and just take people's money? That's my money.
That's my money.
I dare him to try. That's what I say. The distillery that produces Jim Beam has filled its 16 millionth barrel of bourbon since Prohibition. Wow. The milestone barrel is on display at a warehouse there in Claremont. Wow, 16 millionth barrel.
That's crazy.
I saw a...
Y'all really getting after it out there.
It's from 4 or 5, maybe it's 3 or 4 years ago, but on DirecTV, I think on the Audition channel, there is a documentary called Bourbontucky. And it covers why bourbon is better, like why bourbon is a thing in Kentucky, and it gets into the economics of it, it gets into the heritage of it, why it's named bourbon, etc. I watched it in the last couple of weeks, and there was a whole lot of information that I had no idea about in there. I was like, oh,
what's the
that's
difference
interesting.
between bourbon and whiskey, or is it just the state it's made
It's
in?
how it's aged, what it's aged in, and we will claim bourbon is only made in Kentucky.
Well, I knew that
You
part
got
of
some
it.
other people in New York that claim to and all that stuff. But there is a connection. There's a debate. Is it Bourbon Street in New Orleans that gave it its name because that's where we were exporting it to? Or is it because of Bourbon County? Or was Bourbon County named Bourbon County because that's where they were making the drink that was going to New Orleans?
I always thought it was named... Bourbon County got its name because of bourbon, but that's just my assumption.
You get some different You get some different things. And the number 11 Louisville Cards routed Syracuse last night, ending a 2-game slide. They defeated the Syracuse Orange Men 90-66. So that's good to see the Cards break their losing streak there. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way here on In the Know.
At Litchfield Pediatrics, we don't just love our community, we love yours too. Serving surrounding counties from Warren to Hardin, our growing network of physicians and professionally trained staff provide the best in pediatric care. Now offering new online appointment requests, available 24/7 and can be accessed by visiting our Facebook page. Give us a call at 270-259-5641 or stop by our new facility located at 901 Wallace Avenue. Litchfield Pediatrics, providing the best in pediatric care.
Today, successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
It's a great time of year to enroll your kids in gymnastics classes at Twin Lakes Gymnastics. Classes are offered for all ages and all skill levels. Twin Lakes Gymnastics is also the perfect place to host your next birthday party. Rent the entire gym for 2 hours for only $125. With an in-ground trampoline and foam block pit, your child and their friends are sure to have the best birthday ever. Call Jennifer at 270-589-1444 or visit TwinLakesGymnastics.com, located by the Clarkson Community Ballpark.
It's time to shake things up at breakfast with chicken. Sure, you could have the same old, or you could bite into the sweet taste of maple in griddle cakes and a crispy McChicken filet, the Chicken McGriddles, or the McChicken biscuit, a perfectly baked buttermilk biscuit brushed with real butter with the same flavorful chicken filet. Get 2 of the same or 1 of each for $3 and add any size Coke for $1. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price cannot be combined with combo meal.
Afternoon tea, milady?
Sure. Why are you wearing a tuxedo?
Because we're rich now. Our tax return has arrived. Let's take a gander, shall we? Oh, well, that was fun while it lasted.
Well, at least with the latest deals from Bluegrass Cellular, we can feel like we're rich. Smartphones are going for as low as $1 per month.
$1 per month?
Yeah, and select tablets are just $5 per month.
With these deals, we can score a wealth of new tech and still have money left over for, rich people stuff.
Yeah, rich people stuff. So, should we head over to Bluegrass Cellular for $1 per month smartphones?
We shall, but first I need to return this tea set to the kid next door. Excuse me.
Restrictions apply. Offers available in-store or online. Bluegrass Cellular. Your community expanded.
TikTok is giving parents a little more control over their teens' performance. A new family safety mode feature links a parent's TikTok account to their teens. Parents can then decide how long their kids can spend on the app each day and can limit or completely disable direct messages. There's also a new restricted mode, which lets parents manage the type of content their kids can see. The new mode is available now in the UK and will roll out to other areas in the coming weeks. The cord-cutting revolution continues as a report from MoffettNathanson says 6 million customers parted ways with a traditional satellite or cable TV company last year. AT&T lost the most customers, but Comcast and Charter were not far behind. A new app called the Internet of Things Assistant will let you know who and what is tracking you. Created by Carnegie Mellon, you'll be able to see devices like public cameras with facial recognition technology, Bluetooth beacons tracking your location at the mall, and your neighbor's smart doorbell or smart speaker. When available, the app will help you opt out of the data collection. Tech Report, Larry O.
I just need some place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might
Today is Clean out your bookcases day.
Shook my hand, no was all.
I just did that. I actually just did that.
What are you looking at me for?
What are you looking at me for?
It's cherry pie day today.
I like cherries.
Not a fan.
And it is Northern Hemisphere Hootie Hoo Day today.
Oh, she likes that a lot.
For those of us here in because we're a month away from spring.
Uh-huh.
So today you just go out in your yard. You don't even have to go out in your yard. Just hootie hoo.
Open the window.
Open a window, scream it into the phone, just hootie hoo.
So I say today we all open a window, and when the bike riders come by, on the count of 3, we hootie hoo. See if they wave.
Scare them to death?
No, I don't say scare them. Just see if they hootie hoo back. Like, do they speak our hootie hoo language?
No.
We may be surprised.
Are you sure?
We're not sure. I say we try it.
Not this season of cyclist. I don't think.
Well, I say we try anyway and find out.
Go right
It's
ahead.
a hypothesis I'm willing to put to the test today.
There's a big fall off on the other side of the road over there. So just if you startle someone, there's really no ditch. Just
I was going to make a comment, but it may get...
yeah, I just the destination was not lost on me.
Yeah. I was like, you mean there?
Oh, Peeps, you're at it again.
Oh, dear.
Peeps has introduced 5 new flavors for Easter.
5.
Plus mini Peeps for egg hunts. Apparently the most popular non-chocolate Easter candy announced yesterday its latest collection of treats and varieties. They can choose from Fruit Loops,
Ew.
Hot Tamales Fierce Cinnamon,
What?
Raspberry Dipped in Creme Fudge, Root Beer Float, and Chocolate Pudding Bunnies.
Now that one I would try.
They also unveiled 2 new treats along with its 5 new flavors, Peeps flavored jelly beans and individually wrapped mini Peeps, perfect for Easter egg hunts.
Yeah,
I
unless
like
you have a
that
cheeseburger,
one.
I'm not interested
And
at all.
a cheeseburger peep, you would try that?
Yeah.
Really? I'd try the chocolate pudding peep.
I don't like sweets.
Oh, this is why we're friends. This is the same reason I married Jason. I ate his sweets.
But you know, Jelly Belly has those jelly beans that taste like weird things.
Mm-hmm.
They're
You can cross over though and get
Yeah.
into some like, ooh, I wish I could undo that.
Yeah, that booger want to get you down.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's gross.
not good. If it looks
I've
like a
had that
booger,
one.
it probably tastes like one. So don't just stay
At least
away.
still try it.
Not sure what booger tastes like, but I'm going to go with it.
I had a friend who told me Hostess debuted their iced lemon cupcakes and mermaid cupcakes for springtime.
Oh, that's fun.
I like lemon.
Where's the
They're
mermaid?
limited edition mermaids.
What's the flavor of a mermaid? Seaweed?
I think they're themed. I don't think they're flavored.
Oh.
And then they also have mint chocolate cupcakes out for spring and strawberry cupcakes out for spring.
So my
all
husband-
limited edition.
Who doesn't eat sweets likes weird things like mint chocolate chip ice cream or strawberry ice cream or orange juice cake. Like those are the
I get
things
it.
that he gets after.
Really?
Yeah.
Speaking of cheeseburgers, I'm glad you mentioned that.
I love a good cheeseburger.
McDonald's is debuting pickle and beef scented candles as part of their quarter pounder fan club merch.
What?
You can have a candle in your home now, courtesy of McDonald's, that smells like the classic quarter pounder.
No, thank you.
I think this is like a booger jelly bean. Like, I don't know that I want to do it like that.
They have debuted a collection of quarter pounder with cheese scented candles, allegedly because there's no better smell than 100% fresh beef and a perfect combination of toppings.
Oh, they're a better smell.
The collection of six scented candles,
Tell me the foolish.
part
fish
of the
fillets on
larger
there.
assortment of quarter pounder themed merchandise, comes in glass jars representing the 6 components of a quarter pounder: sesame seed bun, ketchup, pickle, cheese, onion, and 100% fresh beef.
I want to eat that. I don't want to smell
So,
it.
Now-
so you have to light them all at once to get the overall.
Unless
sensation.
you order yours, what they used to call in the business a grill item. If you say, well, I want mine without onions, then you just don't like that candle. If you order yours without cheese, don't like the cheese candle, right? So you've got to do your candles like you order your burger.
What happens if you light the onion candle first and then your Bic goes out on you and you can't get the rest of them lit?
You've been eating onions.
Right?
You'll be stuck.
Your whole house, you got to burn the house down now because you can't get the onion smell out.
The limited time swag will be sold online items becoming available throughout the week, according to McDonald's.
That's weird.
That is, who came up with this idea?
Marketing.
No, I'm saying who's the person on the team that came and said, I've got a brilliant idea for merch. And it's not just one candle, it's 6 individual candles.
Do you all know you all may know 90s board games. I don't know 90s board games. You all may be too mature to remember 90s board games. Notice there I didn't call you old. Mall Madness. Do you know the board game Mall Madness?
The later 90s, I think so. I think my kids had this.
It is coming back this fall. The beloved Mall Madness board game, played during sleepovers everywhere in the 90s, is making a comeback this fall. Hasbro is bringing back the nostalgic game 15 years after it left shelves in its original version.
Yeah.
There were special edition Hannah Montana and Littlest Pet Shop versions as well.
My kids had this.
It'll sound familiar to the 20-somethings. We discovered a game over the weekend. I was taken back to my childhood, and Beej did not remember this game, so I had to look it up. She's too young. And Misty, I'm curious to know if you ever had one of these games or knew anyone that did. So I always talk about playing Hungry Hungry Hippos with my sisters, right? Everybody knows the Hungry Hungry Hippos game. But have you ever seen the game I Took a Licking from a Chicken?
I took a licking from a chicken.
Yes.
My gosh.
I about lost it when he said that. I was like, what is happening?
It's a knockoff of the Simon game. So you know how Simon does its light patterns, and you have to emulate it. So it's
I bought you the ornament one time.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah.
Took a Licking from a Chicken is the same game, but there's got this chicken in a glass case, and it lights up a 9-digit keypad, and you have to key in that same sequence, or the chicken laughs at you.
It's true.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but I feel like I was so traumatized, I blocked it from my childhood.
You must find a video on YouTube.
It's fantastic. Funny.
Because the picture is great, but there's something about the weirdness of the chicken's laugh, the taunting tone of this chicken when you couldn't keep up with its pattern.
So you know the dog in the Duck Hunt game?
Yes.
Nintendo, his laugh. The chicken is very similar.
It's the same person doing the laugh. Yeah.
I took a licking from a chicken.
That's fun.
What a great title.
Hysterical.
There it is. That's the game. And so the lights would light up.
I don't remember that. No. I'm much too young for that.
I know my mother has that game hidden somewhere.
I hope she does. We need to bring that in.
Confident she does. Speaking of other toys, a German grandma builds a wheelchair ramp from Legos.
Wow.
That's neat.
Wow. How many Legos?
It's a bunch.
No, tell you.
Yeah.
She said, for me, it was just about trying to sensitize the world a little bit to have barrier-free travel.
How smart was
She
that?
has been using a wheelchair since she was involved in a car accident 25 years ago. And so she took those are the hard plastic ones, the more of the building block type Legos that are there. And then this story caught my attention as well. Where did it go? About the guy who has driven a school bus for 55 years.
I love this.
He's passed away. He's gone on in, and he is riding a school bus all the way to heaven.
Yes, I love this.
Right?
Look at his casket.
He'll be laid to rest in a school bus casket. Glenn Davis is his name.
I wonder if he knew this.
I think so. Yeah. He was a school bus driver from 1949 to 2005. So
that's great.
That's right. Riding it on into glory. Congratulations there, Glenn. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Today's water cooler question is on the horizon, waiting for you here on In the Know.
Hey, for visiting teams, the trip to the home court of the Big Blue usually ends in disaster. But for every disaster that happens off the court or field, call on the fire, water, cleanup, and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO, SERVPRO.com. That's where you'll find the team that's faster to any size disaster, thanks to 27 locations across Kentucky. So when fire or water threatens your home or business, call on the Big Green Vans at 1-800-SERVPRO. Go Big Blue, 1-800-SERVE-PRO. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Chris Stapleton's Concert for Kentucky, an Outlaw State of Kind benefit, April 25th, the first concert ever at Kroger Field. Chris Stapleton with special guests
on the road again.
Willie Nelson and family.
Just can't wait to get on the road
Sheryl
again.
Crow.
All I wanna do is have some fun.
And Yola. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Been dreaming of a luxurious new mattress? Your dreams are about to come true at the President's Day sale at Sleep Outfitters with 40% off select Sealy mattresses, like our exclusive Sealy Outfitters Eurotop or Plush mattress, just $299 for the Queen. You'll also get up to $300 in free gifts. Now through President's Day, get up to $300 on a MasterCard rewards card with any purchase $499 and up. So come find your dream deal during the President's Day sale, going on now at Sleep Outfitters.
That boy of mine, he sure does take after me. I love football, he loves football. I put ketchup on my eggs, he puts ketchup on his. I didn't wear my seatbelt, neither did he. So nothing's gonna be the same ever again. So please, show your kids what a good driver does. Buckle up and put your phone down.
Battery power made by Steel. From trimmers and mowers to chainsaws and blowers, Steel battery tools are exactly what you need to tackle your to-do list. Whether you need to maintain your yard or completely transform your landscape. Battery power made by Steel. Steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot, always at a local Steel dealer. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Cloudy skies expected for a good chunk of Kentucky with some sunshine at times over southern areas of Indiana. While a few flurries will be possible, most of us will stay high and dry, just chilly. Temperatures around 40. Tonight, in the teens we go. Then tomorrow, beautiful day, a lot of blue sky. High temperature of only 42. From the Way 3D Storm Tracker team, I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fly and is also known as a buster.
Did you know Diet Pepsi was originally called Patio Diet Cola? See, it was awful from the beginning.
I was going to say.
It was doomed from the start.
Patio Diet Cola.
Patio Diet Cola.
You can't even get that all on a Coke can.
Patios are nice, but would you build a soft drink around a patio?
What if I don't want to drink it on? What if I don't have a patio?
Exactly. I think it was
can't drink your soda?
it was not versatile enough. It was
Right?
like, I'm in a car, can't drink this thing.
Where's the automobile
That's
Diet
right.
Cola?
Or maybe they would have encouraged people to put patios in their cars, so you could have this stuff. I
That's
don't
where
know.
the RV came from, Clark.
Who knows? Let's see. Where'd it go? That's took a licking from a chicken game.
Chicken sounds demonic. No wonder every 40-something-year-old is traumatized with the games they gave us as kids.
I know, and then at the end. See, it's scary.
It is scary.
It's scary.
Oh, I hope your mama's listening today.
So you had one of these.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
well, my
what's
family
wrong with
did.
you.
I don't know if my family did. It may have been my sister's. I don't think it was mine. We got to play with it. I remember it being at the house, so I don't know who held the title on it.
Who took the most lickings?
right.
What's wrong with Martha? Well,
think
she got
it's-
a licking from a
I think
chicken.
it's pretty clear which of us lost the most. Here's today's water cooler question.
Yesterday.
It's your chance to win. That's how we decided who had to do the chores. If you could whip the chicken, you didn't have to do
Gotta
chores.
stack firewood.
Here's today's water cooler question. Your chance to win. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you may be able to score 4 tickets for your family to attend the Louisville Kids Indoor Fair this weekend at the Expo Center. It's a $40 value and all kinds of stuff for your kids to do. You may take a tent and just sleep in there overnight because it's there's plenty to keep you busy for a couple of days.
They won't know you're there.
But you can win not amongst all that stuff. You could hide in a bounce house as far as I'm
Just
concerned.
get under the bounce house and stay overnight.
270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. 10% of women say they have gotten rid of this following a breakup. 1 in 10 women say they have gotten rid of this following a breakup. 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. 10% of women say they have gotten rid of this following a breakup. 270-259-6000. Mulan is Disney's first live-action remake to get a PG-13 rating.
Wow. The
The
violence.
Motion Picture Association of America, which is responsible for setting ratings on movies, announced that Mulan will be PG-13 due to sequences of violence. I guess it could be worse.
Yeah. Well, the cartoon's kind of violent. I mean, it is war.
That's right. For the setting, for the time period
Right.
of the setting, that was a very violent time in our world.
It depicts the war.
There was a lot of violence. New report says Colin Jost may be preparing to leave SNL. 15-year veteran Colin Jost might be leaving after the 2020 election, he says. Of course, he and Scarlett Johansson, I don't know if they're engaged, but they're pretty hot and heavy if they're not engaged. He was at the Oscars with her, so he may be looking for his next chapter in life.
Huh. Why after the election?
He's their head writer. I guess he just feels like he's got a lot of good.
Trump goes, there's nothing good to write about.
Yeah, it's just
A lot
after
of
that, it's
material.
like now
New
what
chapter, maybe.
am I going
Right.
to do? Absolutely. 10% of women have gotten rid of this following a breakup. What is it? Deborah is on the line. Hooty hoo, Deborah.
Do what? Can't hardly hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll speak
I got
up.
the radio up too loud in there, I guess.
Yeah, that'll throw you.
Okay,
You'll get
go ahead.
whiplash if you do that. 10% of women say they have gotten rid of this following a breakup.
The ring, engagement ring.
Engagement ring is not what we're looking for. Keep trying. 270-259-6000. The question again, 10% of women say they have gotten rid of this following a breakup. Let's go to Melissa. Hooty hoo, Melissa. Melissa, turn down your radio.
Go to bed sheets.
Bed sheets. Did she say bed sheets?
Bed sheets.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, say it proud.
Bed sheets.
Bed
I don't know if I heard a lot of pride in there. I heard a lot of determination
Good job,
in there.
Melissa.
That is correct.
They got rid of their bed
Bed
sheets.
sheets is correct. Yep. Down to the nitty gritty.
I wonder if that's what happens to them and they get...
Hold on, Melissa. Congratulations.
Those are the ones that end up on the courthouse.
Happy Hooty Hoo Day. Surely.
Do with these anymore. I wrote down a lot of things, but not bed sheets.
All right. What'd you write down?
Well, I wrote down voice messages, love letter text, clothes, Facebook photos.
Okay.
I had cards and gifts.
Cards and gifts. That's higher than 10%.
Yeah.
Surely. Orlando Bloom corrected his misspelled Morse code tattoo. He had, there are a lot of tattoos, I feel like. There are a lot of tattoos that have been received by people that they were clearly not sober.
Right.
Now, I think I don't know. I don't have a tattoo, never been to a tattoo parlor. Don't know the nuance. But my understanding is that a tattoo artist is not supposed to tattoo an inebriated person.
Oh, really?
That was if you see a person that's
Well, doesn't that count out most of their client base?
I didn't say they all adhered to the rule. I said I think that is like encouraged, that if a person is just belligerent, then they probably aren't making good decisions, and then you end up with the wrong person's name tattooed on your arm.
Yeah.
Okay?
No regrets.
Right, exactly. I think that we as tattoo consumers need some type of sobriety test for the tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Because Orlando Bloom hired a tattoo artist to put his son Flynn's name in Morse code on his forearm, but the tattoo artist spelled it Fryn, Frynn. So he has had the correction.
You don't say Fryn? Oh, Finn!
So take a little closer look at the sobriety level of your tattoo artist.
Good news
before
is
you
none
go
of
on
us
in.
know Morse code, so we wouldn't have known it was Fryn.
That's right.
Put a D on the end.
We gotta get to a break. We'll come back. Point to Ponder, Chart Toppers, Pearl of Wisdom ahead here on In the Know.
Social networking has become an unbridled force in American culture. The question is it really helping to draw people together? Well, yes and no. Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. The quick rise of social networking has been nothing short of staggering. Facebook, which started as a local website catering to one college campus, has spread across the globe. In fact, 51% of the American population now have Facebook accounts, and with that, you'd think people would be more connected than ever. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Despite more ways to connect with others than ever before in history, the number one reason students seek counseling is for loneliness. How do we explain such a contradiction? Well, maybe it's because social networking caters to the fundamental desire we all have to belong, but it can't fulfill the even deeper need for personal, face-to-face contact with another human being. And it doesn't help when you consider that we can accomplish a growing number of our daily tasks without even having to interact with another person. Social media, cell phones, texting, and all the newest gadgets that come to the market every year are wonderful tools, but they only simulate relationship. What we need, what we were designed for, is close, personal, face-to-face interaction with other people. To help your family thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
It's time to shake things up at breakfast with chicken. Sure, you could have the same old, or you could bite into the sweet taste of maple in griddle cakes and a crispy McChicken filet, the Chicken McGriddles, or the McChicken biscuit, a perfectly baked buttermilk biscuit brushed with real butter with the same flavorful chicken filet. Get two of the same or one of each for $3 and add any size Coke for $1. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price cannot be combined with combo meal.
Hey, for visiting teams, the trip to the home court of the Big Blue usually ends in disaster. But for every disaster that happens off the court or field, call on the fire, water, cleanup, and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO, SERVPRO.com. That's where you'll find the team that's faster to any size disaster, thanks to 27 locations across Kentucky. So when fire or water threatens your home or business, call on the Big Green Vans at 1-800-SERVPRO. Go Big Blue, 1-800-SERVPRO. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Moms will do anything to keep their kids safe. That's why every time we get in the car, even if it's just to the corner groceries, we play the seatbelt game. Whoever fastens her seatbelt first wins. Usually it's Sarah. I call her the fastest click in Kentucky. Her big brother may get his pride bruised, but at least I know we're all safe. Be safe, Kentucky. Buckle up and put the phone down.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. Notice how being right isn't nearly as important as knowing when to shut up.
Comes with wisdom and age, right? That is wisdom.
Yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
wisdom.
yeah, especially when you're youthful, you think you got to be right. No, you just need to know when to bail. Like, that's the most important part. That's a real life lesson.
Yes,
that
it
once you
is.
get it, you go, oh, game changer. It's a complete and total game changer. Not much on TV tonight. I guess SWAT's on. I guess Tommy is on.
Tommy Boy?
No.
No.
The new...
Edie Falco.
Yes, thank you. Edie Falco drama.
It's actually pretty good.
She plays a police chief. Yeah, not too bad. I found some... oh, by the way, to clarify, I made reference to it earlier. On Monday, I made reference to the Kobe Bryant Public Memorial.
Yes.
That's this coming Monday. It's Monday the 24th, not this last week. It wasn't All-Star Game weekend and then the memorial. So, anyway, I had said that it was, but anyone who really knows what they're talking about knows, like, that's not true. What else to tell you about? Shawshank Redemption coming to Netflix in the month of March. That's good. Goodfellas is also coming to Netflix in the month of March.
Don't tell my husband. He watches it every time it's on.
Too late.
Goodfellas?
Yes,
Too
he
late.
loves it.
Already told him. Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events also coming to, and Tootsie, the Dustin Hoffman movie.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen that since 1980, whatever came out.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time to get bogged down in this, but I saw this thing this morning that reminded me there are real words that sound dirty but aren't. Okay? You ready? Like weenus. The loose skin covering the outside of the elbow joint. You skinned your weenus the other night. Didn't you? You have a big scab right there.
I do.
It's a real word.
This is me not getting bogged down.
Right. I'm trying
Okay.
my very best.
Not say you skinned your wings.
It's true.
Oh, Lord.
The poop deck
crying.
on a ship, on a cruise ship. The poop deck is the highest deck on the ship.
Oh, I'm crying.
What you call it, poop? Calling crap.
I
on
didn't
the
name
poop
it
deck.
that. I didn't name it
Calling
that.
crap on the poop deck.
Okay, clearly you are not going to be able to engage in the rest of the list of words that sound dirty but really aren't.
Worse than that?
Yeah, is there anything better than the weenus?
Or the poop deck?
No, it's just getting started.
More tomorrow, please.
Today's highlight in history. This date in 1962, astronaut John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth as he flew aboard Project Mercury's Friendship 7 spacecraft. President George Washington signed an act creating the United States Post Office Department, this date in 1792. Well, stamps to you.
Wow.
Happy birthday to the Postal
Those are lick
Service.
stamps.
Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 600 for the first time in 1959. Tara Lipinski won the U.S. Ladies Figure Skating Gold Medal in Nagano, this date in 1998. Birthdays today, Sidney Poitier is 93, Bobby Unser is 86, Roger Penske is 83, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is 78 today.
A lot of talk about on Mitch last night on the Democratic debate.
I will see him on Tuesday. Is there anything that you would like me to convey to him?
No.
Other than thank you.
Mud bog to you.
Mud bog. Got it. Sandy Duncan is 74 today. Patricia Hearst is 66. Charles Barkley is 57. French Stewart is 56. Cindy Crawford is 54. Justin Verlander is 37. Trevor Noah is 36. Rihanna is 32 today. Remember that time we went to Barbados looking for Rihanna and she wasn't home? I rang the doorbell.
With your nose?
Mm-hmm. Because my hands were full. Gone but not forgotten, Ansel Adams, born this date in 1902. Gloria Vanderbilt, born this date in 1924. She just passed away recently.
Ooh, bad perfume to you.
Let's go to Chart Toppers. 1963. The Four Seasons were number one. You probably could have told that from the falsetto.
Oh, how you tried to cut me down to size, telling dirty lies to my friends. My father said, give her up.
Do you not like that song?
That's okay.
Let's see if we can move forward a decade. Let's go to 1972.
Oh, this one I love.
Three
Love
Dog Nights.
See, the ladies are insane there,
Bobo.
and they sure know how to use it. They don't abuse it.
They kind of like the Beatles. That's in this song.
I can't refuse it.
Never been to heaven.
Well, I never been to England.
England, heaven, same thing.
It says heaven. It goes on to say
Yeah,
that.
I know. I didn't know. I wasn't disputing. Let's see. By the way, news flash from The Crown. The Queen's still the Queen.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen.
1981.
A cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life.
Miss Dolly Parton.
Jump in the shower and the blood starts.
She's a national treasure.
On the streets, the traffic starts jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way.
There was a belch in that song.
Getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy and you let it.
It's hard to mistake that pumping piano riff in the beginning, right?
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it's just such a signature of the song. Good job, Dolly. Let's go to, I mean, Porter Wagner didn't really think so, but I thought it was excellent. Uh-oh. I said something bad.
Who unplugged us? Didn't know it was time to go.
No, I didn't know.
Still have a couple minutes.
Bubba shot my jukebox.
Yeah, right. That's what you get for saying something about Porter Wagner.
Really?
Yeah, don't say that again. Something you need me to sing?
I think it was a Dolly Parton mic drop.
Oh.
She just said, Psh, I'm out.
No need to move on.
Seduction 2 to Make It Right in 1990. God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You, NSYNC in 1999. Rihanna, Don't Stop the Music in 2008. And Ed Sheeran, Shape of You in 2017. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. It's weird. Right?
It is Thursday.
It is.
It is
So
Thursday.
And according to some people in the building, Thursday things go wonky.
They're not in the building.
Some people have been in the building before, one time.
At band camp. Today's highlight in history. No. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Tell the story of the mountain you climbed. Your words could become a page in someone else's survival guide. Tell the story of the mountain you climbed. Your words could become a page in someone else's survival guide. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The sentencing hearing started for Roger Stone in Washington.
U.S. District Court Judge Amy Berman